Hey everyone, I'm Tsunami. Welcome to my new video. In this video we will talk about the art supplies I used most in 2024. And in part 2 we will talk about the best art supplies I tested in 2024. I tested a lot of stuff. Some companies sent me their art supplies and I also bought something from my own money. And there were things I liked a lot and also a few supplies I didn't like at all. So I think this will be interesting for you. And yeah, let's start with part 1, my most used art supplies from 2024. First of all, watercolor were my most favorite medium in 2024. And there were a few brands I really used the most. I have a lot of brands right now, and the brand which I used the most was my Roman Small watercolors. A few weeks ago I made this new palette setup. In the beginning of the year I only had a handful of colors, but I loved them so much that I used them all the time. And I show you my most favorite colors. I love blues, and my most used blues this year were the ocean blue. This is a wonderful granulating blue. It's so absolutely beautiful. A few of these colors I haven't had before November or October, I think. I really loved this olive green light. It's a very bright olive green, and if you water it down, it's almost a green gold. It's such a nice color. Okay, I told you we begin with the blues and I use a green. Okay, perhaps it will be a bit chaotic here, but yeah. I always use this indigo and I love the indigo from Roman Small. It's a very beautiful indigo. It's dark and deep and very bluish. And the Perry Lane green. I use a lot the Perry Lane green. It's also a very nice color. I don't use a lot of greens, finished mixed greens. I use my own greens if I like to have a green, but these two I really like a lot. Then all the other blues, like the turquoise blue and the Prussian blue, I got later. The phthalo blue, this is a phthalo blue I rarely use because I like the colder greenish blues a lot more. Also these granulating colors, these both, I think it's Shadow Violet and I tell you later, or I blend it in which one it is. I got them later. And this is Payne's Gray, and I also use the Payne's Gray a lot. And it's also a very nice Payne's Gray. Indigo and Payne's Gray I use for the shadows. And then my favorite red is this quinacridone red. I really like that the quinacridone red is so pink. I really love these colors in combo. And also if I want to have a much darker reddish color, I use the Perry Lane Violet. This is also so beautiful. These colors I used most from this palette, and I used Roman Small the most this year. I think it's a bit of a shame that you can't see the nice granulation on this paper. I will show you my swatches in the swatch book. And then I got more colors. My favorite colors of my new ones here are Shadow Violet. It's also a very nice separating, granulating color. It's so beautiful, also for shadows and darks in my paintings. And I love this turquoise blue. This is so beautiful. I also got a few browns and stuff, and I rarely use browns. They are beautiful as well, and I use them here and there. And this one is also a very nice brown. It's the Hematite, and it's a good to have for me. I'm trying to use other color palettes in my paintings here and there, but this is my go-to, is always kind of a very cool greenish blue. I also love, I will show it to you in a moment, the Prussian green from Schminke, and something like a very light olive green or a green gold. Green golds are my favorites as well, and a very pinkish red. And these three tones I love the most. And then I use colors for the shadows and darks, which can be indigos or Payne's gray or neutral tint. So, oh, look at this nice granulation here. Perhaps you can see it. This is the, the Shadow Violet. Also this one granulates, very beautiful. And here is a color separation in this very greenish blue, and there are green or yellow particles in here. It's very nice. So here's my Roman Small palette, and here perhaps you can see it a bit better. The ocean blue and the Shadow Violet and the Hematite. And these are very cute stickers from Catwalk, by the way. So, and then my Schminke watercolors. I haven't used them as much as the Roman Small, but I always come back to them again because of a few colors I really love. I swatched all my Schminke colors in the swatch book. It's all Schminke Horadam colors. And my favorite, most favorite blue and most used blues, perhaps I have to take the plural, is Prussian green, which is a green, but for me I use it as a blue kind of thing in my paintings. I always use kind of a blue, kind of a yellow, which also can be a greenish color, and kind of a red, which also can be a violet or stuff. And then I use a few shadows and I mix in between. And I love this Prussian green, and I also love the dark blue of Schminke. This is such a nice tone of blue. I will show it in a moment to you. And the indigo, of course. These three are my main used blues. So, and then here transparent green gold of Schminke Horadam is my most favorite green gold. It's so nice. It's more yellowish as other green golds, and I love it. Also my Perilane Violet, Perilane Violets, Perilanes, Crinocridans. Here also my Crinocridin Red Light is my most favorite Crinocridin red because it's a more peachy, pinky Crinocridin red. It's so beautiful, and I haven't seen the Crinocridin Red Light in this peachier version in other brands' color collections. So this one is my most favorite Crinocridin Red. Here, this is almost empty, and I was too lazy always to do this. And I bought a full pen of this beautiful color, green gold, my beloved green gold from Schminke Horadam. It's such a beautiful color. This Prussian green. Which is so beautiful. And the Quin Red light. These three together are such a nice combination. Then of course the dark blue. This is the dark blue. It's so nice, such a nice color. And the indigo is also a very beautiful indigo. I really love indigos. Look at this, it's so deep and so dark. It's a bit more dark than the one from Roman Schmoll, but it's similar, I think. I like the tone of these indigos. That's more bluish and deep and dark. So these are my most favorite and most used colors of 2024 and of all time. As I started with watercolors, I had this Schminke palette. Okay, there came a few more colors, but these are my all-time favorites and all-time most used colors. Then I also used a lot the quinacridone gold. Let's see, this is here. The quinacridone gold. Oh no, this is not the quinacridone gold. I'm sorry. This is the transparent orange. Also very nice, and I should use it more often and mix it into the others to tone them down, but I haven't done this, and this is why I bought this. This is the one. I think this is the one. No, this isn't the one. Is this? Yes. Here it is, the quinacridone gold. I love quinacridones and I love perilanes. And of course, my perilane violet. This is also loved and used. It's a bit stronger than the perilane violet from Roman Schmoll, a bit more reddish, and I love it so much. Now, my Schminke watercolors, my most used and most beloved colors of this set. I think in the same amount like the Schminke watercolors, I used my Kuretake Art Nouveau Set. I used it a lot in 2024 and I love it. Look at these colors. It's a nice choice of colors and I use all of them. Okay, I used this one, I think, a lot more than others. This is also it's kind of a green gold. It's yellowish, but also with greenish touch. I really like and love this color. Last August, I swatched them all out and hang them up in my window. And I'm really curious what my Lightfast test says in a few months. And I'm really curious about these Kuretake paints. I won't swatch them now. You can see them really good here on my swatching card. I made a video about all of these paints, about this Kuretake set and also about my Roman Schmoll watercolors. I swatched them all for you and painted with them, so you can watch these videos if you like. Then also, what I also used a lot were these tiny palettes. When I went outside to go nature sketching or for a little trip with my family or visit friends, I always took one of these little palettes in my bag. And I have very different brands in here. Here is my Quo palette. I also used them in 2024, of course. I love the Quo paints and it's easy and very handy to use these little palettes and to put them in my bag and travel brushes and my sketchbook, and then I'm ready to go. Here is the Quo palette and I have the Daniel Smith Jean Haines set in here. I also love this set. I made a video about it and these are very easy to use. I like these palettes. What I also used a lot in 2024 was the Mijello Gouache. I got them this year, and the reason was I wanted to use more gouache and I wanted to make my own palette, and I like to use them dried out of the palette, and I wanted to take them with me, and this is why I chose the Mijello Mission Titanium Glass Gouache. I swatched them all out and tested them also in a video, and I have to say I really love them. They say these are hybrid paints, watercolor and gouache. This was the video, and I swatched them all out in this video. You can watch it if you like. And they are so nice to use and so creamy, and also so nice to use when they are dried from the dried palette I showed to you. I have a few favorites, of course. I'm really totally in love with the Mijello blue. This is a very nice violet blue. It's so absolutely beautiful. I loved it so much that I bought also the Mijello blue as a watercolor end of this year. And I also love these greenish, bluish ocean colors. And as you can see, it's so easy to reactivate these colors, these paints, and they are opaque then, and you can water them down and use them easy like watercolors. But if I want to use watercolors, I prefer watercolors. I use them more as a gouache. These are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful colors, and I'm very happy I bought them. I used them mainly in my sketchbooks. I also made the light fast test in my window, and after this I can use them also for commissions if they are light fast. This is something I'm very curious about. These colors are a lot more vibrant as my color choice in general. Also, yeah, these blues are beautiful and I love these blues, but I'm missing kind of a peachier red, peachy pinkier, lighter red, and reddish browns in this set of colors from Mijello. So these are the watercolors or gouaches I used most in 2024. And when we speak about watercolors, we have to speak about brushes. These are the Fungo brushes. I got them a while ago and I use them all the time since then. I have the 8 and the 12, and they have this very thin tips here, and you can go very fine, and they hold a lot of water. I also use Da Vinci brushes. I have a Da Vinci detail brush. This one here. It's very nice, but I don't know. I love this for details and smaller artworks, but I always come back to these brushes, and I have them a few years now, and they haven't broken, and yeah, I use them all the time, and they are very good quality. Then I also have this travel brush set. Okay, here is another brush inside from which was in an upgrade box. This set of 3 brushes from Golden Maple I bought a while ago, and they are really good. I think they are not crazy expensive, and as you can see, they are used and loved. You get a 8, a 4, and a bigger one. I have no idea which number it is. Perhaps a 10. These are the brushes I take with me wherever I go, to trips, to friends, with a little palette or my Roman Small palette. I almost never drew or painted on loose paper this year. I had my sketchbooks, and the sketchbooks I used most were these both. My art creation sketchbook from Haines. It's filled to 2/3, and my Acrylic sketchbook with 100% cotton watercolor paper in hot pressed, which is very, very nice and very, very nice paper. I fell in love a lot with this sketchbook in this year. I also use these clips a lot to that I can paint without the pages come up too much, and I have a nice surface to paint on. So these clips are also a very good thing, and I use them a lot. So this sketchbook is halfway through. I hope I will finish it in 2025, and also this one, I hope I will finish this soon, because I want to start new sketchbooks, and yeah, I have a few here I want to test really, really bad. So these both sketchbooks are my most used in 2024, and I think this will be also my most used in 2025 until they are done. And then in October, I come back to this one, this Ohuhu mixed media sketchbook, and I was surprised by the quality of this paper. I really enjoyed it, and this is alcohol marker and colored pencil, but I used a lot of watercolor in it. Good, it buckles a bit, but not very much, and I used a lot of water in it, and I really like this very smooth paper, and it holds a lot of medias and also watercolor. I enjoyed this paper a lot, and I can recommend all 3 of these sketchbooks. When this is finished, I think I buy a new one in this normal sketchbook format, not ring bound. I thought it's a good idea to rip these pages out, and that I can frame these paintings and sell these paintings. But perhaps I need a normal sketchbook from this brand and from this mixed media paper. Then I always use a few of pencils, colored pencils, on top of my watercolor paintings. The pencils I used most in this last year, were the Arrtx colored pencils. Because I worked mainly in my sketchbooks, I used the Arrtx colored pencils because they are not very light fast. This is why in my mixed media Ohuhu sketchbook, where I thought I could sell my artworks, I used mainly my polychromo colored pencils then, and also the Carandache Luminous, but only the white. I used the white a lot, and this was my go-to white this year in my artworks. As you can see, I already have a new one and used it up a bit. The Arrtx colored pencils and the polychromo. This is the polychromo, this is the Arrtx one. I used them a lot in this year, and none of the others, almost none of the others. And the reason why is here the Arrtx ones are very, very soft. It's so nice to work with them. And the polychromos are very deep and very pigmented, and you can draw more details with them because they are a bit harder. for highlights, I mainly use this one. This is a very thin Posca acrylic marker, and it's not the perfect thing, but I haven't found a perfect highlight pen yet. I also used a lot these Sakura Cherry Roll pens, but they have their own, yeah. Sometimes they are good and sometimes they don't want, and then they are hard to activate. I don't know. These are my solutions, or a white gouache, but I like these pens more. It's easier and faster to use as a white gouache. Perhaps you have tips for me, which white highlighter you can recommend. I would be really happy to hear what you like. And these were my most used black markers. The black liner from Molotov. They are all different kinds of thickness in it. And I really like them. They should be waterproof. And I use them with watercolor. I use them only for themselves to sketch things, and yeah, they are very good markers. I use them a lot, and I used them a lot in 2024. Oh, I almost forgot my Prismacolor Kohl Erase pencils. Since I have them, I'm only sketching with them. I haven't used a normal pencil since I have them. And I bought this pack a while ago. They have an eraser, normally. This is a color I haven't used so much yet. They come with these erasers. I already used it up here. And they come in different colors. And the cool thing is you can sketch with them and you can easily erase them again. So I prefer the reds and the blues. You can get them in a set of a lot of colors, and yeah, it's fun to sketch with them, and I really love them and I can recommend them. And it's nice to have something colorful underneath. And what I really like is that they don't smudge my watercolors if I use them underneath, like a normal graphite pencil would do. If I would sketch with a graphite pencil and then I go on top with water, then it smudges a bit. I really like them. So we are at the end of part 1. We will go on with the best art supplies I tested in 2024. Oh, I hope this video will be not too long in the end. I will try to not talk too much. I'm starting with my collaborations. If you watch my videos, you perhaps have seen all the review videos of watercolors and pastels and all this stuff. And my favorite products, which I tested in collaborations with brands, were watercolors, of course, because I love watercolors the most. The Paul Rubens watercolors, 5th generation, and I tried them out and I really like them. They are more staining than other watercolors, and the only thing was the very similar yellows here. I remember you can watch my review video about this set. I can link it for you if you want. And I really enjoyed these watercolors. This is glittering paper. I also got glittering paper from them. And I also got a set like this from Lightwish. I like the Lightwish perhaps a bit more, but I don't have them here. I have it in my studio in town. I recognized a few minutes ago, so I can't find them here. But the Lightwish one I liked a bit more. I also link them in my description for you, the review video. And the thing is, the Paul Rubens and the Lightwish, I think they come out of the same house. And they both have this nice packaging. So the Paul Rubens as the Lightwish has these nice boxes and these awesome metal palettes. I really like their products and I enjoyed this palette and the Lightwish palette a lot. Very good paints, I think. Very pigmented, and I hang these swatches from Paul Rubens, all the swatches from Paul Rubens, also the Oprah set from Paul Rubens, and also the Lightwish watercolors. I put them in my window to see if they are light fast and how I can use them in the future because I really like them. Then also a collaboration were this marker set with Arrtx. These are the, you don't have to shake them, the brush with a brush tip acrylic markers, and I enjoyed it a lot and I used them here and there, and they are so juicy and always active. I never had problems with them and I don't have to shake them and don't have to pump them in any way. They are here and I like them and I use them. I showed them to you and here in the sketchbook this year. And I think it's a very good product. I also made a swatch card and put it in my window to see how light fast they are. I also reviewed the Arrtx colored pencils. I reviewed them on this channel, I think 2 times, and they are really good. This is also something I tested this year and I knew before, and I really like them. I got this set from Grabie, which I really liked. I thought these were very good alcohol markers, and also Ohuhu reached out to me for a while and I tested their alcohol markers as well and I loved them a lot. These were both very good, but I really like the Ohuhu markers a bit more. These are very good markers and to a good price. So these are the best I tested in the collaborations. Then I tested a few more stuff. The Daniel Smith Jean Haines set, watercolor set, which is really, really nice. I like Daniel Smith and I like especially this set with these colors. It's well picked and I was very, very happy with this set. You can watch this review as well. Then I really, really loved the Derwent drawing pencils. To be honest, these are very good pencils. Very, very soft pencils in these nature tones. But this is why I don't use them a lot. I don't use them a lot because my color palette is more like this. This blue I used a bit and the white is a very, very good white. I think it's kind of the best white I ever used. I don't know why I used always the Carandache white this year. Perhaps it was easier to grab for me because it was always on my table or on my desk somewhere. But I really like these colored pencils and they are so good. I can recommend them, and if you are into nature drawings or landscapes, then this can be the perfect color pencil set for you. Then I tested watercolor, liquid watercolors, and I also tested the Schminke liquid watercolors and these ones, these watercolor inks from Ecoline or Ecoline, I don't know how to pronounce, and I love them. This year I experienced that I would love to use more ink. I used a lot of watercolors this year and I like the staining watercolors a lot, and I think the next step would be to use more inks. This is something I want to experience more in 2025, and I want to have a few more colors from the eco lines or from other ink brands and find the right ones for me. I enjoyed them a lot. I enjoyed them a lot. This was the video in which I tested the eco lines. Here are the colors. I also hang them up in my window, a little swatch card of these. And I tested also the Schminke Aqua Drops. And the Schminke Aqua Drops are more like normal watercolors. They totally behaved like watercolors, but these liquid watercolors from Ecoline are more like ink, and I loved it so much. This one here is with the Ecoline, and as you can see, it was very easy to glaze above with blue on this maroon color to bring it all a bit down and soften the colors up. It's so wonderful. I love it, and I have to use more inks in the future, and especially these ones, I really like them. Oh, I totally forgot. This swatching book I got from Lightwish this year, and I really like it. I'm swatching in here all my colors, all my watercolors, since I have it, and it's so nice. It's fun. It's hot press paper. Yeah. I experienced a few more watercolor brands this year, and I also ordered a few from the new Tourmaline series of Mijello Mission Gold. These are the super granulation watercolors from Mijello Mission Gold, and I like them so much that I ordered a few more to have a nice Mijello watercolor palette. And I'm really happy with all the colors I have now from Mijello, a few of the Tourmaline, a few of the granulation ones, 10 of the granulation ones, 10 of the normal Mission Gold watercolors. And this will also be one of my next videos, perhaps the next video, to make my palette set up from the Mijello Mission Gold and Tourmaline ones in a new palette, and to paint with them, because I haven't painted with them yet and I like them so much and I really want to test them. And this is the Mijello Blue, and it's also such a nice color. I'm very happy with these watercolors, and I can't wait to test them more out in the next weeks. I will take you with me then. And yeah, this was the last product, the last supplies of this video. I hope you enjoyed my view back to 2024, which supplies I used the most and which supplies I tested were the best. I hope this helps you to find the art supplies for you. I'm really looking forward to 2025, which supplies I will use the most in 2025. And I think, I don't know, I love watercolor so much. I think I will test out all my new brands and all my new palettes in the next weeks and take you with me. Then thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for your support. Also a big thank you to my patrons. You are the best. Then have an awesome week, my friends. See you next time. Yours, Xunani.